Okay guys, let's learn how to make our Lego portrait. So first thing we need to do is we need to grid our printer paper. So make sure you have a piece of printer paper, just standard size printer paper, and you're going to fold your printer paper in half once the long way. And then you're gonna fold it in half this way once and one more time. Okay, so what you should now have is 2 columns and 4 rows. 2 columns and 4 rows. Now, just to make it a little bit easier for yourself, you may want to actually draw those lines because you're going to be storing this in your sketchbook and it may actually flatten out. So just go over the lines that you just made by folding with your pencil. Make sure they're nice and light. I'm drawing them a little bit harder just so that you can see them, but they really should be light because otherwise, because you're gonna have to erase them later, just like with pop art. So this is exactly like our pop art grid. It's just less grid lines, which is kind of nice for you guys. So I'm just making sure that I can see my lines clearly before I go ahead and draw my grid line. All right, so again, we've got 2 columns and 4 rows. So we've got 8 sections total. All right, so now we're ready to get started. We are going to create our Lego head. So to create your Lego head, you're going to create it in our top row, and you're just simply gonna make a square. The square should be even on both sides-ish. If you wanna use a ruler, you're welcome to. Printer paper is 8.5 inches, so it would be 4 1/4 is the middle. So you're welcome to sort of try and figure out the math of that, but I'm just gonna say like approximately, let's say maybe 1.5 inches-ish, 1 1/4 maybe on each side. Why don't I do it that way? About 1 1/4 inches. If you want yours to be a little wider, that's fine. A little narrower, that's also fine. So here we go. I'm creating a square or rectangle, I guess. And this rectangle is going to go up almost to the top of my piece of paper, like so. Now, if I want to, now that I've sort of created the outline of it, I could go over it with a ruler just to make all the lines perfect. And I can also, of course, use an eraser to erase any of those sketchy lines that I no longer need. And eventually, of course, I'm going to erase the grid line that's going through the middle of it as well. Now, once you've got your square there, if you look at an actual Lego person, which I have right, where did he go? So this is my little Harry Potter Lego person. So his head is round at the top. If I can get his hair off. No, it's glued on, so I can't show you. But his hair is, or his head is round. So we are actually gonna round the edges of this square that we just created. So to do that, all you need to do, just zoom in a little closer here so you can see. All you need to do is just where you currently have an angle, create a curve like that, and then erase the angle. Create a curve and then erase the angle. Right over here, same thing. And same thing along the bottom as well. And there we go. Okay, step 1, the head is complete. Now, Lego people have teeny little necks, so we're going to give him a neck. Okay, so here's my little Lego person, and as we can see, a Lego person has a little neck. So the neck is going to be just a little bit in from the head. So it's not the same width, just a little bit in. It's okay if it's not perfect. Whatever you do is just fine. Okay, now we are going to make our Lego person's body, which as you can see, the body is obviously going to be wider than the head. Now we're making the torso, not the arms, the torso. So the torso starts skinny and moves a little bit wider. So we're going to do a horizontal line, and we're going to make sure that this horizontal line moves outwards a bit from where the head is. So it's maybe like a 1/2 inch wider than the head of our Lego person. And then all we need to do is make a vertical line. It's a little bit diagonal, just a little bit so that it gets a little bit wider as it gets down into our third row here. And then we just make a horizontal line going all the way across. Again, if you'd like to go over this with a ruler and make it perfectly straight, you can definitely do that. Now, unlike the head, the body does not have rounded edges. It's got perfectly straight edges. Okay, there is the body finished. Now we need to add shoulders. So what you're gonna do is coming out from the corner of your torso, you're going to draw a curve, almost like a mountain, like a cliff. And it's gonna come out and down, like so, okay? And then you're just gonna make a horizontal line, like that. You're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And again, it's okay if they're not perfectly even. You can even draw a line straight across just to make sure that they're on the same level. Okay, so I've got both arms there. Sorry about that. Okay, I've got both shoulders there. Now I'm going to add arms to these shoulders. So to add arms, all you do is the arm is a little skinnier than the shoulder. So you draw a rectangle going down, and the second you hit the edge of the torso, that's where the hands are going to start, just before actually. And to make the hands, to make Lego hands, as you can see here, they look like the letter C, but pointing downwards. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the letter C pointing downwards, and then we're gonna turn it into a block or a bubble letter C, like so. And there we go. There's one arm and hand. Let's create the other side. So same difference. You're just gonna go continue downwards here, make sure that it's a little skinnier than the shoulder, and then it's just before you hit the edge of the torso there, you make your C angling downwards and you block it. Okay, so now we are going to add legs. So in order to add legs, you want to make sure that you're going to be using the entire, basically second half of your image. And by the way, later I will show you how to turn these into long sleeves and tank tops and all sorts of other things. So to create your legs, all you need to do is go from the edge, bottom edge of your torso, and just go straight down, vertical line straight down. And you're just gonna stop before you hit the edge of the page, somewhere about there. And then you're gonna go across in a nice horizontal line. And then you're gonna move back up with that vertical line. And then all you need to do is now create this one long block leg into two legs. So you can use a ruler for this or not, it's up to you. You are going to measure maybe 1 centimeter or 1/2 centimeter even over that middle line there, and draw a vertical line up going all the way, almost all the way up to the bottom edge of that torso there. Same thing on the other side of that vertical line. And then we have that horizontal line there that divides our two legs. Now our Lego guy has two legs. And we are also going to add the feet, which for our purposes are just going to look like little rectangles at the bottom of our legs. So all you're gonna do is make a horizontal line across one and a horizontal line across the other. Okay, and there we go. We have our basic Lego guy or girl ready to go. That's the first step done. The base of our Lego character is done. Let's move on to all of the attributes and the hair and the faces and accessories.